Tonight on CTV News at 5, no reported injuries after a fire breaks out in downtown Kitchener overnight. Investigators now trying to determine what caused the blaze. Plus, the fallout of an apparent arson attempt in Cambridge. A business owner speaks out as the fire causes a major setback. And a push to host the Memorial Cup at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. The Kitchener Rangers officially make their bid for the 2027 tournament. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. First at 5, a major fire in downtown Kitchener has prompted an investigation by Waterloo Regional Police and the city's fire department. No one was injured, but officials estimate the damage is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's bring in CTV's Alexandra Hollick, who's been following this for us today. Alexandra, do we know how the fire started?
Not at this point, Colton, and the Kitchener Fire Department says that's because the fire caused extreme damage to the building as well as a neighboring property. Videos taken by those who live nearby show just how quickly the fire spread. The blaze broke out just after midnight this morning at a garage behind a property on Water Street near Victoria Street North. The structure was engulfed in flames and the fire jumped the fence to a neighboring home. Now, as you said, Colton, no one was injured, but several homes in the area were evacuated as a precaution.
There was knocking on our door very loudly to wake us up. Someone was yelling that there was a fire. And I came downstairs and there were a few people at the door. Woke up everyone in the house and came out and just sort of walked around the corner of the property, and I could see flames above the house beside ours.
Kitchener Fire estimates the cost of the damage is around $600,000. We'll have more details on the investigation coming up at 6. Colton?
All right, that's CTV's Alexandra Hollick reporting live. Thank you, Alexandra. Region of Waterloo staff have been tasked to look into banning right turns at red lights. Let's bring in CTV's Leanne Evans for a closer look at this and some other news we're following this hour. Leanne.
Yes, Colton, thank you. Regional councillors voting in favor of this at a committee meeting this afternoon after Councillor Colleen James brought forward a motion about it. According to staff, 89% of pedestrian collisions happen at intersections, with more than half of pedestrians struck having the right-of-way, and 1 in 3 pedestrian crashes happen while a vehicle is turning. Councillors voted for staff to look into what intersections might benefit from this.
What I am asking for is a feasibility study for staff, because we have the tools, we have data, to look at where, as we expand as a region and there's density happening not just in the core, but outside of it, to look at potential areas for no turns on reds.
At 6, CTV's Heather Centerin will hear from drivers and get their thoughts on this. Also tonight, the do's and don'ts of parking lot crashes. Thousands of incidents are reported throughout Waterloo Region annually. Officials say it doesn't matter if you're on a private parking lot or a public road. The rules apply, especially when it comes to reporting the incident and exchanging information for insurance purposes.
Currently in the province, there's a $5,000 limit, but that's a combined limit. So that's the other vehicle and your own vehicle. So if you feel that the damage, if you're involved in a collision in a parking lot and you feel the damage is over $5,000, call your local police service. Here it's WRPS, and they'll give you some direction as to what to do.
Ashley Bacon will speak with someone who was involved in a parking lot crash coming up at 6. We'll bring you those stories and more at the top of the hour. For now, Colton, back to you.
All right, thank you, Leanne. Now joined by Alex Pinto to talk a little bit about this weather. And Alex, you told me yesterday that it was going to be a muggy night. I had some ball hockey last night in an arena that's air conditioned. It's probably one of the sweatiest nights of the year.
I was going to say, you probably still felt the heat.
Awful.
Even with AC.
And then today, some rain.
Yeah, we're seeing some isolated showers depending on where you are, and we noticed it outside of our studio too. And it was a downpour for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then that sun was back out and it was nice and clear. So a little bit of a wacky weather day, if you will, but definitely starting the day off with some heat and humidity. Yeah, that heat warning still in place for much of southern and southwestern Ontario. Severe thunderstorm warning also in place for several areas, including Brantford, Hamilton, north of Toronto. So Vaughan, Markham, Newmarket under that warning. morning this hour. When we look at our satellite and radar, again, some isolated and scattered showers kind of throughout, making their way right across. That chance of showers sticking with us, but temperature is actually dropping right now. So 25 here in Kitchener-Waterloo, 27 in Goderich, 23 in London, and with that humidex, it is feeling more like 34 for us here in KW. We did hit our high earlier today, but it's kind of nice that we're getting a little bit of relief from that heat. And taking a look now from Caroline Street in Waterloo. Yeah, we can see that cloud cover start to move in, and the wind is also starting to pick up. After we get through maybe another round or two of showers, though, good news, some sunshine could be on the way, Colton.
I'm looking forward to it. And here's what you need to know. Dust off those dancing shoes and head over to Waterloo Public Square tonight from 7 to 10. Show off your moves, as all skill levels and abilities are welcome. From social dancing to line dance lessons and West Coast swing, check it all out. This is a free event and no registration is required. We'll be right back. A man from North Dumfries is facing arson and break-and-enter charges after a fire at a soon-to-be retail storefront in Cambridge. Emergency crews responded around 10 Sunday night to a property located on Walnut Street. Police say a man was found inside along with a small fire in one of the back rooms. The fire was put out, but smoke damage and a power outage have set back plans for a new business moving into the space.
We were coming down to set up cameras and internet and all that yesterday, and well, that's been postponed now because we have no hydro to put the cameras on with. We'll have to be down here cleaning up and putting up a couple more pieces of wall there and painting them and getting it cleaned up, try to get the smell of the smoke out of here so that we can get it opened up.
The cause of the fire remains unknown. Some veterinary students at the University of Guelph are spending their week learning how to identify and investigate potential animal abuse. Forensic veterinary science is something that hasn't traditionally been taught, but experts at the school say they are trying to change that. They're offering a course this week which includes a mock crime scene for students to investigate, learning how to properly gather potential pieces of evidence, and eventually share those findings in a court setting. The extreme heat has created the perfect growing conditions for blue-green algae. The Grand River Conservation Authority says to be on the lookout for it after a small bloom was recently spotted at Conestoga Lake. Another was found at Bellwood Lake late last month. The GRCA is warning both swimmers and campers to keep an eye on their surroundings.
All right, Tanya from Royal City Nursery joining us here in studio. You're bringing the garden to us once again. Always so great to see you.
Lovely to see you too.
Okay, so we don't want to say summer's coming to an end, but it is right around the corner.
Well, yes.
I know we're shushing.
Yes, yes.
But there's plenty of stuff we can do in our garden still now.
There is lots, and I think one of the biggest questions we get at the garden center right now is, can I plant? Absolutely.
Good.
Let's get these
Good
garlands
news.
in the ground.
So what should we be doing now? And it's also been tricky with the heat, the humidity, but at least today we've been seeing a little bit of rain, which is great.
Yes, and I think there's a whole bunch of gardeners out there that are getting soaked right now and enjoying it. It's perfect. Do it again. So in terms of what can you plant, really anything. Sky's the limit. The challenge is whether or not you're home to water.
Okay.
And now keep in mind, your plants do not need watering every single day. Pots are different, but if they're in the ground, we need a good soaking once a week. And hopefully Mother Nature actually help us with that.
We learned that because I've definitely been overwatering a little bit, which is fine.
I brought some fun toys.
Okay.
So some of our favorites for fall planting, there's the anemones. Say that like 9 times fast. So anemones are fall bloomers. We've got white ones, I've got pink ones, there's red ones, and they are phenomenal in the shade. You don't normally think of shade as having a lot of color, but that's one way to do it. If you're looking for sun-loving and pollinator-loving, I brought some alliums, which is an ornamental onion.
These are beautiful.
These little pom-pom purpley dudes. And beside them are some black-eyed Susans.
Beautiful.
And they're phenomenal for bees, butterflies, all the pollinator insects. They're also really good as cut flowers. So both of those, cut them off and bring them in your house, and you get your garden in there.
And beautiful colors too.
Yes, absolutely. And then don't forget your grasses. So beside you is an ornamental grass called North Wind.
Right.
That one turns orange in the fall.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
Beautiful. Beside me is one called either Blood Brothers, gets nose height, or Shenandoah gets waist high. So this one, this is, to me is fall, right? You get that dark purple, And by the time October comes, you get purple all the way down.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you know, that is beautiful. Beautiful
It's coming.
colors.
It's totally coming.
Right around the corner.
Yes. Now, one of the things you shouldn't do right now is please don't fertilize. We want our plants to start thinking about going to sleep. And we also want to, and I know the lawn lovers are going to hate this, do not water your grass. Leave the grass, let it go dormant, and in another few weeks when it gets a little bit cooler, it'll pop back up. It'll pop back easier that way.
Okay, I won't tell you what I did yesterday then.
Not a word.
That's
not
okay.
A word.
All right, so what should we be doing in terms of prepping?
Yes. So our fall harvest is coming. So this is the time of year that we want to get our fall seeding started. So you can do this in the ground or you can do it in a pot.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. And these seeds I've brought, these are OSC seeds. So yay, Waterloo.
I love that.
Yep. So some of the ones that you should be doing right now are beans, peas, you can do radishes, beets, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots.
Endless options.
Endless. We don't want to do tomatoes and we're not doing peppers.
Okay.
Do the cool season stuff.
Okay.
So in terms of seeding, it's no different than what you do in March. We're going to get our fingers dirty.
All right.
Now, we're doing this in a tray because that's what we got. And in the tray, I've got these little cells. So this is coir, or coconut husk. So we can plant in these.
Okay.
So I don't have to do too much to it.
Perfect.
And fill them with a really good seed starting soil.
Okay.
And I'm going to get you to do carrots and beets.
Perfect. And I know for the carrots, there's a little bit of a strategy with
Yes.
this.
So carrots are tiny, tiny, tiny.
Okay.
So we're going to go right on top.
Yep.
And you're going to do, oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Yep. And then at the end, just scuff the surface of the soil. Bingo. So you bury them a little bit.
Yep.
Give them a couple weeks. Once they pop,
Okay.
we are going to tease them apart.
Great.
You've got
And then
some
for the beets?
so we're going to skip a row.
Okay.
And you're going to do a divot.
All
yes.
right.
Sweet.
Perfect. Look at that.
And 2 or 3 seeds into the divot.
Just a couple there. My luck, I might overseed, but that's
okay, because in 2 or 3 weeks when they pop, all you need to do now is just cover them up. And I'm going to skip a row, and I'm going to do peas.
So just cover them up like this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So once we get
Beautiful.
off air, we're going to water the little darlings.
Beautiful. Look at that.
And nice and simple. And in a few weeks, we have got a beautiful fall harvest.
Look at that. Easy peasy.
Yes.
I can even do it. Okay. Things that you could do now as well.
You got it. We'll see you next
All
week.
right, Tanya. Great to see you.
Have fun.
It's a once in a lifetime experience for many people, whether you're fans.
Still ahead on CTV News at 5, the Kitchener Rangers officially throw their hat in the ring to host the 2027 Memorial Cup. And here's what you need to know. Calling all animal lovers. Meet your new BFF at Utterly Ridiculous Farm Life in Bright, a one-day event happening tomorrow afternoon from 5:30 to 8:30. Participants can do goat yoga, followed by a sunset picnic with alpacas. Enjoy it all tomorrow. Tickets are $95 per person. Enjoy a day filled with movement, food, and plenty of laughs. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, we had Alex over there planting some plants. Now she's back to talk about the weather.
Yeah, running all over the place today.
All over the place. And
it's fun. It's all good things.
you mentioned the scattered showers earlier. I went out for lunch.
Oh, I know.
And when I came back from lunch,
you were
I had
soaked.
to change because it was so rainy.
I should have taken a picture. It's okay, it happens. It happens to the best of us. And yeah, it was a little bit unexpected because I think a few of us were trying to leave to even just go get a coffee this afternoon. And it kind of came out of nowhere. And that downpour, it was heavy at times, but good for you for still
It's unbelievable.
committing to your lunch break there. But yes, we're seeing some cloud covers. We take a live look from Caroline Street this afternoon in Waterloo. So yes, we're starting to see a little bit of those clouds getting darker and darker. And actually we can see just some light raindrops on our camera. Yeah, Dave's live with the conditions out there this afternoon. But the temperature is actually dropping. We hit our high of 31 around 12 o'clock this afternoon, and it's been going down ever since 2, 3 o'clock or so. So we're definitely starting to get a little bit of relief from that heat, but that heat warning still in place for yet another day for most of southern and southwestern Ontario. Some areas also under a severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in the Newmarket area, Markham, so just slightly northeast of Toronto, Brantford and Hamilton, you are also under that warning this hour. So we noticed a few more earlier too, but it seems to kind of be dissipating on and off throughout. But yes, that heat warning as well still in place. So for many areas, hopefully that'll come to an end tomorrow once we see the system pass. So as we get into the rest of the afternoon, some more scattered showers, potentially a bit more active weather could be expected as we get into the evening hours and into your overnight as well. Kitchener-Waterloo under a thunderstorm risk for a little bit later, as well as we could see a chance of showers for the evening hours and getting into your overnight conditions. So once we get past Wednesday afternoon into the evening and that system makes its way towards the east, we should start to see a little bit of that clearing. We might see a few clouds on and off, but then Thursday right through the weekend looking pretty good and a bit more manageable in terms of that heat and humidity. So right now we've actually dropped down to 24 here in KW, 26 in the City of London, and it's 27 in Mount Forest this hour. So with that humidex for us here in Waterloo Region, feeling more like 32, similar in Guelph this hour as well. 33 in Toronto and feels more like 35 in the City of Hamilton. So we did hit our high, as I noted, 31 that was set around 12 o'clock or so this afternoon. So definitely above normal for this time of year. Our record high, 34, that was set back in 1947. And on this day in 1930, we saw an overnight record low of just 4 degrees. So I've definitely noticed it. I usually wake up around that 6 o'clock hour or so, and I'm definitely noticing it is darker until about that 6:23 a.m. mark at this point. So overnight, 19 degrees, chance of showers, 60% chance as we get into the overnight hours with a risk of a thunderstorm that is sticking with us. That risk also sticking with us as we get into tomorrow. With the humidex, though, feeling more like 36 as we hit an expected high of 28 and cloudy conditions with just a 40% chance of showers we're seeing at this point. And over the next few days, take a look at that. Starting Thursday, as we noted, a sunny stretch is expected and pretty nice, comfortable conditions. 29 for your Thursday. That's your expected high.
Okay, time to take a look at what's trending. It was a disappointing night for Toronto fans of rapper Lil Wayne after he canceled his concert at Budweiser stage at the last minute last night.
We were at the concert, a couple drinks in, hundreds of dollars into it. They didn't open the gates until an hour after it was supposed to open. 2 hours after the first opener was supposed to start, and that's when they told us it was canceled.
Definitely. The venue posted a message online saying the show was postponed due to, quote, unforeseen illness. Budweiser stage says a new date will be announced and all previously purchased tickets will be honored. I also saw online today that his concert in New York today was canceled.
Oh, no. See, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, it happens. People get sick.
Yeah. Well, if you want to be part of the FIFA World Cup in Toronto, but you don't want to pay for those tickets, you can be your way in. Volunteer applications are now open for the tournament. The city says it's looking for more than 3,000 volunteers in several different areas, including fan experiences, accessibility services, media operations, and event logistics. Toronto is set to host 6 matches, including the men's national team's home opener. So more information can be found on the City of Toronto and FIFA's websites. The World Cup is set to kick off next June.
And here's what you need to know. Swifties unite for Taylor Swift Trivia Night tomorrow night from 7 to 9:30 at TWB Cooperative Brewing. If you think you know everything about T Swift, from her country roots to pop anthems, this night is for you. Bring your besties, grab a drink, and get ready to shake it off with some exciting competition. We'll be right back. In tonight's Digital Dive, a 27-year-old Kitchener man is facing second-degree murder charges in connection with a deadly shooting in Dundas last month. Zachary Schumann was shot in the parking lot of a condo complex on July 27th. The Dundas man was arrested on Sunday, while the Kitchener man was arrested yesterday. Police say the victim knew the 2 accused prior to the shooting. For more on this, our online team has you covered. Just scan the QR code in the corner of your screen or go to ctvnewskitchener.ca. Time now to take a look at our final 5 stories we're following today. China is escalating its year-long trade dispute with Canada. Beijing is imposing a preliminary 75.8% anti-dumping duty on Canadian canola. The rate will be effective from Thursday. The steep duties would likely all but end imports if they are maintained. China is the world's largest importer of canola and sources nearly all of its supplies from Canada. The trade dispute began with Ottawa's imposition of tariffs on Chinese electric vehicle imports last August. WestJet experienced a network-wide technological issue this morning that affected flights at several Canadian airports. WestJet flights were delayed or late at Region of Waterloo International Airport. The problem has been fixed, but the issue delayed the handover of aircraft from maintenance personnel for scheduled operation. Arriving and departing flights were also affected, and there could be some lingering delays. The business behind the now defunct Hudson's Bay department stores has changed its name. It's now going by Rupert Legacy. The name is in reference to the Bay's first governor, Prince Rupert, and Rupert's Land, a swatch of wild lands given to Hudson's Bay in the 1700s when it started as a fur trading company. The name change is part of Hudson Bay's sale of its intellectual property to Canadian Tire. Kitchener Ranger Adam Valentini potted 2 goals in Team Canada's 9-1 win over Switzerland at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup today. The Swiss netminder held off the red and white for most of the game, but Canada scored 5 goals in the 3rd period. Canada is now 2-0 at the Under-18 tournament and will close out group round play against co-host Czechia tomorrow. Speaking of the Rangers, the Kitchener Rangers have put in a bid to host the 2027 Memorial Cup. Kitchener last hosted the tournament back in 2008 and have played in it 6 times in franchise history, winning the trophy twice. The team that hosts the Memorial Cup gets an automatic berth into the tournament, which also features the champions of the 3 major junior leagues in Canada. Should the organization be successful, Rangers officials say they hope to host a tournament many will remember.
It's a once in a lifetime experience for many people, whether you're fans and 20 years from now, you'll remember hopefully what happened at the 2027 Memorial Cup, much like I've heard from lots of fans who remembered what happened in the 2008 Memorial Cup. So it's an incredible event experience from a hockey perspective.
Now, the Guelph Storm have also put in a 2027 host bid in celebration of the city's 200th anniversary. Karis Matt will have more on this coming up at 6. Well, that's our time. Thanks so much for watching. We'll have more local news coverage coming up at 6 o'clock. But first, here's CTV National News.